Well, the good news is my post on the technical forum got answered. They essentially told me to uninstall everything NVIDIA related, reinstall everything NVIDIA related, except the GeForce application, and also change a couple of settings on the game itself. I've turned on the 3D highlights again, so fingers crossed, we'll see what happens. The bad news is we're playing Juventus. It's our 4th game in 11 days. It's our 2nd game in 3 days, and I just don't know if we're ready for it. My name's FM19, and this is the Ritornu Gloria with SC Bastia, episode 92. And as you can see here, we have back to our winning ways. After our loss at PSG, we were away at OGC Nice, and we won 1-0 thanks to a Kaplan goal in the 2nd minute. This game had the opportunity to be a lot more, and it probably should have been, seeing as how we had 18 shots, 8 on target to their 8 and 5. My defensive back line was pretty solid. My midfielders were solid. Kaplan had a good game, all things considered. OGC Nice was pretty average across the board, and somehow average was just enough for them to lose by 1. On the other hand, we shut them out, so there is a takeaway from there. But really, I thought after Kaplan scored in the 2nd minute off a set piece, the floodgates would burst, and we'd put at least 3 or 4 on them. But, you know, a win's a win. We were then away at Bordeaux, and we won 1-0 thanks to a Jovanovic goal in the 55th minute. This was, I'm not going to say exactly a rotated side. We did have some starters sit, and we did have some starters come off a little bit earlier than I planned. The nice thing is Jovanovic came on after Macon had just had an awful game and scored 4 minutes later, and that was enough to see us through. Bordeaux gave us a fight. 16 shots, 8 on target. We had 12 and 6. Orlov had a couple of very nice saves, one of which probably, in most cases, would have been a goal. He just seemed to leap about 10 feet sideways and get a hand on it and just push it to the point where it hit the post and then bounced out of bounds. We were then home against Metz, and we won that game 3-1 thanks to a 12th minute goal by Bastia and Pichon, a 73rd minute goal by Javier Ruiz, and an FM goal by Guzman Fernandez. This was, okay, stats-wise, it was a very even game. We had 17 shots, 7 on target. They had 17 shots, 6 on target. They had a big possession advantage. They really couldn't do anything with it, though. Their lone goal came from a Florius penalty kick in the 71st minute. That was deserved, to be honest with you. But as you can see, my attackers had a very solid game. Orlov, again, a 7.0. Rodriguez had a good game on the left side. I sat Sessignon because, frankly, he needed a rest. You know, it was a solid all-around performance by the squad. Today, though, we are away at Juventus. Because of what happened last time, and I instant replayed the game, we won 4-2, so we're a tired squad, though. And if Juve scores 2 and we don't score anything, they win on away goals. So it's going to be a close-run game. I'm going to set the best 11, check the reserves, and we're going to come back with our match against Juventus in just a bit. What the heck formation is that? That is a 3-4-3 with 2 defensive midfielders and 2 wingbacks. Huge gap there in the center. Vinicius and Under, Havertz as the striker. They're probably going to play a counter-attacking and then try and lump it forward up top. That's what I would do. We're playing our 4-2-4. Orlov in goal. Sessignon, Rodriguez, Ivanov, and Flores as the defensive back 4. Mercurio and Lemos as the midfielders, rather. Jovanovic and Macon as the attacking midfielders. Kaplan and Pichon up top as the strikers. Orlov sends it forward to Mercurio. Over to Lemos, to Macon. Centers it back to Mercurio. Over to Jovanovic. He holds it up, bounces it off a Juve player, goes back to Mercurio, though. Over to Lemos, he drives forward, takes a shot, but he skies it. That is a very, very defensive formation for them. Well, Vinicius just went out with an injury. Now, 30 minutes in, the previous highlight was the only one so far. I'm unbalanced. I'm staying unbalanced because there's no reason for me to be playing anything else. It's up to Juve to score 2 goals, and frankly, they're not. They're just, their formation is wildly defensive. Lemos. To Macon, back to Lemos. Mercurio takes the shot, but just wide right. Flores and Rodriguez have both picked up yellow cards. And even on balance, we've had a massive first half. 16 shots, 7 on target. Juve's had 5 and 1, and that's with them sitting back. And frankly, I'm not doing anything tactics-wise that I would consider to be out of the ordinary. I actually went back through, looked at my options for the formations I wanted to play, and chose them. This is the base 4-2-4 that the game recommends. A couple of the positions are different. You know, they recommend a box-box midfielder next to a ball-winning midfielder. But all the mentality stuff, all the in-possession stuff, transition stuff, things like that, that's all defaults. And frankly, I don't see any reason to change them at the moment. So, let's get back to the dressing room, do the pep talk, and then we'll get on to the second half. Okay. Tell Flores to calm down. Tell Rodriguez to calm down. You know what? No highlights this second half so far. We're about 65 minutes in, so we're going to make a couple of changes. Morales is going to come on for Flores. Zhang Cheng is going to come on for Rodriguez. And we'll keep an eye on everybody else. Corner kick in, Macon. Pichon right to Gasparetto. He brings it up to the top of the box. Sends it forward to Hermans. Knocked away Zhang Cheng. Well, sends it up forward, but Penalba is there. Laurajaro sends it back to Penalba. To Benitez. To Arthur. To Pinto. Cuts right. Takes the shot off the crossbar. Wow, I could hear that from here. The entire net shook when that thing hit. Good grief. "75 minutes in, we're going to tell the guys to concentrate, and they're overwhelmed. Of course they are. 23 shots we've had, 11 on target to their 11 and 5. None of those 23, we've had 2 highlights, and none of them have been ours. And this is going to be the game. For whatever reason, Juve just did not challenge us. Penalba. Zhang Cheng knocks it down. Lemos to Mercurio. Out to Morales on the right. He drives forward. A little bit more. Crosses it in. Jovanovic's there, but he's too far wide. Kaplan. Oh, and he didn't have the angle on it. The number 6 player got in front of him and forced his shot wide left. Macon, corner kick in. This should be it. Unless the ref blows a whistle. Nope, corner kick. Mercurio knocked away. Jovanovic's going to get it back out to Macon. Back over to Jovanovic. To Varnier, who sends it up to Hermans. And that is the game. That was odd. First they came out in that real defensive formation. And then they just didn't do anything to score. They should have. That's strange. Why would you do that unless you're just essentially throwing your hands up and saying, oh, we don't care. Now, I will say, let me go back to Juventus here real quick. After we beat them the first time around, they fired Bruno Genesio. And so Mauro Zironelli, who I think is a regen, maybe, was their coach. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. But Genesio is I know I've mentioned this before. He's another one of those coaches who he was at Lyons, took over to be head coach of France, left that job to become the head coach of Valencia, where coaches go to die, apparently, because Valencia still has never finished better than 4th. Let me double check something here real quick. Valencia, yep, 4th. And 5th. And Rodrigo Galvo, who they got. Yep, Klopp was sacked, and they hired this regen, Rodrigo Galvao. So, yeah, Valencia's the team where coaches go to die. Well, we win the first knockout round. We receive 9.5 million euros. I'm going to do the press conference, and then we'll do the youth intake. I already recorded it. That happened last night. So we're going to transition to that. And then when we come back, it will be the Lyon game. And we'll be back with that in just a bit. And our draw as well, who we're playing next in the quarterfinal. Well, this is our youth intake for this year. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on it because, as you can see, it's pretty blah. A couple weeks ago, I did go to the board and ask them to increase our youth development rating, and they're working on that. I had to throw my weight around in order for that to take place. Best of the bunch so far, Julien Lefebvre, center back, defensive midfielder, natural defensive midfielder. 1-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability, 2 determination. Good grief, what a killer. Unambitious. Clément Bouveret. Unambitious, but his determination's better. Physicals aren't too bad. He could grow into something. Screeve Saka. Interesting name. 1-star current ability, 3-star potential ability. Forward. Nice first touch. Decent finishing. Good acceleration and agility. Nice pace. He's got potential. And literally that is it. Everyone else is 2.5 stars or less. Man, Lefebvre looks like he could be something in the future, but that 2 determination is just killer. Good grief. We got a pretty decent head of youth development. And frankly, in looking at who is out there, we'd have to pay somebody to come in. And this is just, somebody like Gianluca Pacetto would be nice. I can't imagine what it would cost to get him. The head of PSG is this guy, Jean-Francois Pien. I don't know. It's going on the list for something to look at in the off-season. It's definitely... It's not an area of concern, per se, but it's someplace we really need to look at. Why does Hertha BSC have 2? Stefano Baldini is a scout, but he could be a head of youth development. Motivation, well, the determination is a bit on the low side. Michael Marion is the head of youth development. He's not bad. German, though. Yep. Need somebody with a decent amount of scouting knowledge, especially in France, which I believe is something we can search for. Well, this is cool. So you can have it more than once. Definitely something to keep into consideration. Well, I think we're going to call it here. We'll go back to youth candidates here, and it's not great. So hopefully those things will improve as the season goes on, though. Well, this is interesting. Juve's offering me the job. I'm going to decline that, though. Just another short interlude here. Orlov is on the verge of the SC Bastia shutouts milestone. He is the 3rd keeper to have reached this milestone so far, usually about this time of the season. And this is usually when the defense falls apart. We always give up like a goal a game. So, fingers crossed. Hopefully he'll be able to get it this season. Well, a slightly different formation today based on player health more than anything else. We're playing our 4-4-2 narrow diamond. Orlov in goal, Sessegnon, Jiangqing, Ivanov, and Flores is the defensive back 4. Fletchik is the defensive midfielder behind Gravenberch and Mercurio. Tomasi is the attacking midfielder behind Kaplan and Pichon. Everybody's above 90%. The players who aren't playing are below 90%. And, in the long run, that probably doesn't matter. But better safe than sorry. We're in the race for second place. So we want to stay on top of that as best we can. And Lyons is playing a 4-3-3. And this is a vertical tiki-taka formation, so we'll see how well that works out for us. Tomasi, corner kick in. Right to Rulli. Oh, they've got Rulli. He kicks it out into space. Sessegnon's going to run that down. Stops it from going out of bounds all the way back to Orlov. Brings it out. Over to Zhang Chen. Back to Orlov. Come on, guys. Out to Flores, alone on the right. He holds it up, drives forward, crosses it over to Sessegnon. Crosses it in, Pichon's there, and he scores. Okay, fingers crossed. If the game dies, there will be some cursing. Nice header. Nice cross by Sessegnon. Okay, that's the first highlight. If there's another highlight and it crashes, cursing. Corner kick in, knocked away. Theo runs it down, back to Garcia, centers it, Flores knocks away, goes to Mustafa. He takes it. Oh, that was weak. Something tells me Orlov probably should have done a better job of that. Let's see hits in the 3D. Theo to Garcia to Mustafa. Oh, he should have had that. I need to slow down the replays. Yeah, camera height, camera zoom, key highlights. I'm going to have to do that when there is another replay. And oh, look at that. Perotti scored as I was messing about with that. Nuts. Okay, let's slow the replays down here. Pedroso, George just decided to drink in the background. Perotti snuck through. Orlov got completely taken out of his line. I'm going to pause this here real quick while George is doing his best impersonation of a horse. 8 shots, 6 on target for Lyons, 4 shots, 2 on target for us. We've got the possession advantage, but we're also playing at a lower tempo. So I think what we're going to do is kick that up a bit and see what happens. Pedroso. Well, Flores knocks away, but Glaze there. Back out to Damgard. To Mustafa. To Damgard. Centers it in. Perotti. Left side of the box. Crosses it in. Goes all the way through. Pedroso couldn't get ahead on it. He taps over to Damgard. Garcia's there. Orlov with the easy stop. Orlov brings it out. Rolls it out to Vlecek. Out to Flores on the right. He holds it up. Sends it up to Pichon. Across the field to Sessegnon. Center of the box. Taps it over. Tomasi's there. Really nice save. Lito knocks it away. Perotti's going to get it, and that is going to be the highlight. Man, Geronimo Rulli has been my bane in more than one game. We're going to get Ivanov off and bring Rodriguez on. Actually, no. We're going to get Ivanov off and bring Prieto on. We're going to get Flores off and bring on Rodriguez, and we're going to take off Sessegnon and bring on Rodriguez. Where the heck is the clock? I don't know that I ever noticed this on this skin before. Morales to Gravenberch. Top of the box. Taps over to Rodriguez. Cross it. Pichon's there, and he heads it over the crossbar. It should be right there, but it's blocked by the... Okay, that's moderately annoying. I don't know that I've ever noticed that before. How much time is left in this game? Gravenberch, corner kick in, knocked away. Tomasi bounces it off the player. Vlecek to Gravenberch, to Mercurio, to Morales, to Mercurio, to Vlecek. You're going the wrong way, fellas. Morales. Oh, Vlecek loses it. Pedroso drives forward. It's 3-on-3. Perotti's there. 1-on-1 with Orlov, and they're ahead 3-1. Nuts. How much time is left in the game? Okay, this. Yeah, this is annoying. This is gonna, yeah. I don't want to see this again. We're gonna have to go to the attack. Now the changes get made. Marinov from on top of the box. Curls it high and wide left. And it's 92 minutes in. Come on. Pedroso knocks it away. Kaplan's gonna run it down. He's been very quiet this game. Mercurio. To Vlecek. To Tomasi. Back out to Morales. Cross it in. Kaplan's there and he heads it over the crossbar. That is annoying. Rulli. This should be last play of the game. And it is. Monaco goes ahead of us. Why did I never notice that? I'm going to have to change that. 16 shots, 11 on target they'd had to our 13-5. And Frank Lito was injured most of the game, too. He shot a 7th-minute goal. Parati a brace of goals. Mustafa a goal. They were... Maybe playing the 4-4-2 was a mistake, but I didn't have my wingers were nowhere near healthy for the game. So, we're now 2 points behind Monaco and 11 points behind PSG. We are, however, 6 points ahead of Lyon. The draw for the Champions League should be coming up here. Man, sometimes a team gets all the luck. Tottenham scored 5 goals after being down 2-0 to PSG. And PSG got 2 goals to equalize the score at 5-5, and they win on away goals. That is just insane. Tottenham had 4 goals in the first 33 minutes. Man, they're going to be kicking themselves in the feet for, well, Tottenham's just going to be beating themselves up for a while at that. Wow. I think this is what we were waiting on for the draw for the next round to happen. So I'm going to get to that, hopefully, and then we'll end the episode here. Well, we've reached 500 games as a head coach. We've got Dijon coming up in like a day. And the draw still hasn't happened. So, you know what we're going to do? We're going to come back for the Champions Cup quarterfinal game. And then we'll play con between, and then it'll be the quarterfinal game. Why has this not been decided yet? It's got to be coming up soon. Just a second here. Finally! Liverpool is playing Bayern. We are playing Lyon. Crap. Monaco is playing PSG. And Bayern is playing Man United. So we got 4 French teams, 2 German teams, and 2 English teams. So it's good odds a French team will make it all the way there. We're playing Lyon. Okay, well, time to get some revenge. So we will be back with our first Champions League quarterfinal game against Lyon next episode. Well, no graphics glitches this game. Good news. We'll keep our fingers crossed and hope that proceeds to the next episode. If you did like what you saw and heard this episode, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content. Questions, criticisms, comments, leave those down below. I'll answer those as fast as I can. My name's FM19. I thank you for watching the Return on Gloria with SC Bastia, episode 92.